Just a quick disclaimer, this is very spoiler heavy. So here we go. Kingdom Come Deliverance will never hold your hand. Ever. More than any game I've ever played of this era. The developers have made no concession for how you're used to playing video games. They just don't care. We're just lucky enough to have been given skippable dialogue and cutscenes. So let's talk about the realism. This is a game of realistic quests. You aren't sent to slay boss after boss until you reach the big boss man. Your first big mission is to bury your mother and father. You're just a normal dude, probably like your real life self, more than any other game in recent memory. Like many games, you're forced into these situations, but you have no tutorial until you've already killed men and experienced hours of the game. Run into a mass execution, loot them all. Somebody annoying you? Just kill them. It makes you see that being a swordsman in the 1400s wasn't something that everybody was like in the movies, and was only for brave or crazy people. People had regular jobs, selling coal, blacksmithing and farming. I'm the kind of person that saves every 5 minutes. Well, you can't, but unless you have a savior schnapps, right? The game gives you a save when it thinks you've earned it. Sometimes after a quest, no different than a checkpoint system, but you're always in dire need by the time you've got one, that you use it almost immediately. With these schnapps, you're given an element of choice, infused with a slight sense of urgency. The easiest way to save is finding a bed, but even that can prove difficult sometimes. You get hungry. But unlike any game with similar mechanics, it's not annoying, because realistically there's food everywhere. People are generally carrying food, and towns are full of it. Some towns even have communal eat-outs, where everyone can eat for free, so you never really go for long without eating. You want to make a risky move, but you can't because you have no save left. So you take the safe route of trying to pick one guard off instead of 3, and it doesn't help. You die just as easy. Then you set back 20 minutes, but each time you do it, and slay the same enemies, you get hit less and less. You take them down in seconds instead of a stressful few minutes, and realise how much better you're getting by practice alone, even if you don't really understand what you're doing yet. I've heard this game described as Eurojank, which is absolutely not true. This game has a lot of bugs, but it's still very playable. It's in my opinion no more buggy than Bethesda's Skyrim, and that game has been out for nearly 7 years. The game's very realistic. You want to scale a wall? You probably can't. It's too high and you're wearing armour. You need to use the door like everybody else does. Do you want to climb a steep hill? You probably have to follow the path for the same reason. Every character is always doing something. They serve a purpose. Always. I ran into an executioner as I was on my way to rob his house, stole what I needed, and fast travelled back before he was even home. The game is full of emotion. At one point, I'm asked if I can pick locks. I say no, and he takes pity and he shows me, then hands me 10 picks. If I say yes, he hands me 5. If you go back and ask for a demo, he'll give you the remaining 5 to practice with. Thanks to the wizard on Reddit, I learned to auto-run through holding Alt plus F12 and letting go, and angling with my mouse until I arrive at the base to sell whatever I've stolen. Give it a go. A few times I was caught after the fact for stealing when nobody saw me do it. I hope this is fixed in further patches, but I have a feeling it won't be. We'll see. However, I got myself into a predicament. I was arrested for theft and dropped from my job, so I had to load my old save, load the entire game again. To beat this, I had to pay the guards, but I didn't have enough money. So at first, I tried selling some stuff, but they'd still take all of my gear and I'd be naked. So what I had to do was put all of my armor and weapons in a chest, give a 5-minute walk towards a dodgy guy's house to sell some expensive boots I stole from a bandit as I was robbed fast traveling, and then fast traveled to the kingdom and paid my bounty. But by the time I did this, I pressed F instead of G, and it kicked the guard, costing me more money than what the boots were sold for. This took me a good part of an hour to try and figure this out. I went through all of that effort, to another hour later an NPC during a main quest, asking to see my gear and taking everything away again. There's no real way to become a thief in Kingdom Come Deliverance. The best you can do is steal and then sell to one of your dodgy mates and then buy armor from a legit vendor, since the origin of your coin is untraceable. After a quick sleep with the homeless to travel closer to daybreak for my quest, I travelled with torch in hand, per nighttime rules of Rete. I accidentally ran into the very same person I was trying to meet, on their way to the same location but by horse, and you'll constantly do this kind of thing because the game's dynamic and every character has purpose. They don't just spawn out of nowhere, they're always doing something. Kingdom Come Deliverance is not a game you can pick up and play for 20 minutes, but something you need to set aside a few hours for, which can be hard to find time for, but it's immersive and worthwhile when you do, if you don't hit too many bugs.
You make a stuffed bird laugh. But that won't help you much.
I believe I'm about 6 hours in, and from what I've heard, the tutorial is roughly 7 hours. I've barely scratched the surface, and all this has happened so far. It feels like I have choice, and I can't really wait to play more. I probably will play some after this. If you watch this and like it, subscribe and give me a like. And thanks for taking the time out of your day or night to watch my stuff. Thank you.
And show me what else you have on you.